prism and a pyramid real quick before we get started. Okay, so all the ones that are prisms, how is the prism different from the pyramid ones? Longer, shorter, no. Okay, what?
If it was a pyramid, the regular thing would be surrounded by the same shape.
One base.
Okay, the base would be surrounded by a shape.
One base.
Okay. Alyssa was saying a pyramid has one base every time. What else would you do? So this pyramid is a triangular pyramid, so it's got one triangular base. This is a square pyramid, so it's got one square base. What are the lateral faces on a pyramid? So these two.
Triangle.
Ooh, every time, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, how does the lateral faces compare to the number of sides of the base? You get what I'm asking?
Same amount of
This base is a triangle. How many sides does a triangle have?
3.
How many lateral faces does it have?
3.
1, 2, 3. This base is a square. How many sides does a square have? How many lateral faces does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see that the number of sides that the base has is how many lateral faces it has. Let's try this one. Hexagonal prism. How many sides does a hexagon have?
6.
So how many rectangles are here?
6. 5.
There should be 6. I fixed it one year and then I don't think I pressed save. Anyways, so you're going to have the same number of lateral faces as the number of sides of the base. So we said in a pyramid the lateral faces are triangles. What are they in a prism? Rectangles. Yeah, they could be a square if they're extra special, but mainly rectangles. Rectangles. And how many of them are there? There's the number, same number as the number of sides of the base. All right, that's all I have to say about that. If you would like to take notes, you're welcome to. We're doing prisms today. Today is prisms, tomorrow's pyramids. Find the surface area and volume of prisms. So more formulas, just like last unit. None of which you have to memorize. None. So, what kind of, I'm flattered. What kind of prism is a pencil? Hexagonal prism, yes. What about this tent? What kind of prism is it? Triangular prism. What about a tissue box? Rectangular prism. And then a lot of high-rises are often rectangular prisms. Sometimes. A lot of times. Usually when you build a building, the top and the bottom are the same shape. And then you connect those with, so it might be a trapezoidal prism or a rectangular prism, but usually the top and bottom are parallel and they're the same shape, usually. So by definition, a prism is a solid with a pair of congruent bases in parallel planes. That just means that the top and the bottom, if it is sitting on its base, are parallel. And they're congruent. Because if they're not congruent, it's gonna go diagonally up here and it won't be technically a prism. So we've got our rectangular prism, triangular prism, and pentagonal prism. Congruent bases in parallel planes. How many bases does a prism have? How many bases does a prism have? 2 all day, every time. 2 bases. Now the lateral faces, Sean, it depends. That's the one it depends. Depends. But a base is always going to have 2 of, and they're going to be identical. And please notice, this is the one that students have the most trouble with. When I give you a 3D solid, it is not always sitting on its base. So I'm going to give you a 3D solid, and sometimes you're going to find the area of this, and you're going to say that the base is a rectangle. But even though it's sitting on a rectangle, I do realize it's sitting on a rectangle. The base is whatever there's 2 of. What is there 2 of in this? Triangles. So the base in this one is the triangle. The base is not always at the bottom. Okay? Base not always bottom. Base is whatever there's 2 of. So the base of this 3D solid is not a rectangle. Even if I set it on the rectangle. The base is a triangle. Alrighty. Lateral faces. I mean, I'm never going to ask you on a quiz to define like what's a lateral face. But it is good to just know what the definition is, the technical definition. So, Lateral faces. This is all I really care that you know. I need you to know that they're rectangular for a prism, but we already talked about that. And if you visualize the net, you'll see rectangles. And they're formed by joining the vertices of the bases of the prism. So pretty much it's saying, when I connect base to base, what am I using to connect them? Well, I'm using rectangles. So that is the lateral face right there. And I think I already answered this question. What shape are the lateral faces? Probably said it 10 times now. They're rectangles in a prism. Lateral faces are rectangles. Okay. So it's what connects the base to the base. Lateral edges. The common edge shared by adjacent lateral faces of a prism. How do you like that definition? It's just the edges of the rectangle. That's all it is. It's just the edges. So the edges are going to change color, but I think they only change to purple, so it's not going to change color very much. You ready? Are you watching?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It changed. I promise.
Wow.
Ooh, it changed. I promise. I should use
How
complementary
do you do
colors.
That's so cool. That's so
I put a triangular prism on top of a purple triangular prism, and then when I click, I make those segments, like you'd say, when clicked, disappear. So the
so
segment when it clicks.
So creative.
Whatever.
So
Okay.
it's every edge of the lateral face?
It's the edge of the rectangles. It's the edge of the rectangles, not the edge of the base.
On that one, it's on the base.
No, the base on this one's the top and the bottom. So the one that's kind of tough to, I don't have one with me right here. The one that's kind of tough is rectangular prism. It's tough to identify the base because I know this is a cube. Let's pretend it's a rectangular prism. The other teacher's using my rectangular prism. Any two of the parallel faces can be your bases in a rectangular prism because they're all rectangles. So the problem is going to have to tell you which one's the base. You don't have to decide in a rectangular prism which one's the base. The problem would have to tell you. In this one, I'm choosing that the top and the bottom were my bases. And a lot of times, if the problem doesn't tell you which one is the base, it'll be the shaded one. So if it doesn't specify, and you see something shaded, that's automatically a base. Moving right along. Bases, the pair of congruent parallel faces. It's always a pair. What does pair imply? Two. Pair implies that there's two. In a prism, there are two bases. Two. Okay. The height. Also interchangeable with the word altitude. The height of the prism is the altitude. The cool thing about a prism, it's going to get more difficult with a pyramid, but with a prism, the height is just how long your edge is. Length of lateral edge. So that's your height. There, in this pentagonal prism, you could measure, there's 5 different edges that you could get the height from. Anyways, height, not too tricky in a prism at all. All right, so I'm going to call this A. I'm going to call this B. Write down on your paper which number is the height for each of those prisms. Because if you can't identify which one's the height, then you can't plug it into the formula. So don't say it out loud, just choose what you think the height is. I gave you 3 numbers. You have a 1 in 3 chance getting the height right. The height of the prism. Height of prism. Chris, what is the height of prism A?
7.
No, you named the height of the base. What's the height of the prism? 9. Very good. The height is the number that connects the base to the base. The height is 9. Are you okay with the height being 9? That's H. When you go to plug into the formulas, H is 9, H is not 7 or 5. Okay, shape B. Mike, what's the height of shape B? 12. Very good. The height is the number that connects the base to the base. So ask yourself, okay, the bases are triangles. What number connects triangle to triangle? And you'll get 9. What does 8 represent? What's 8? The height of the triangle, which means it's the height of the base. It's the height of the base. This is the base of the base. Yeah. Base times height divided by 2. That would get you the area of the base only, not the 3D solid. Oh, yes. Go ahead and ask me. I can go back. Kind of. We're about to reveal the formulas, but if you wanted to have the volume, yeah, you'd find the area of the base, 1/2 base times height, and then you multiply it by the height of the whole prism. So yeah, you could multiply all three is what you were saying, and then divide by 2. It does work that way. But that's not what the formula is going to say. Oh, I skipped this slide. Volume, number of cubic units contained in a solid. We know what volume is, right? We're also going to learn about, I'm going to ask you to find these 3 things about a figure. What do you think they stand for? L, A, S, A, and V. We know V is volume, right? Good. Lateral surface area. And this would be surface area. So if I say S-A, I can't talk right. It means the total surface area. Give me an example of a time when you would only need to find the lateral surface area of something. What good is this? Why would we ever find this instead of the total? Okay. How far it is around? How much it is around? Give me a real world example of why we would need to know the lateral surface area in the real world. No, you would cover the whole thing though, right? If you're wrapping a present, you want the total surface
What
area.
about like the label, lawnmower thing? You know how it rolls? You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. But I like Kylie's. A label on what?
Like a can.
Yeah, a label on a can. When you put a label on a soup can, you're not covering the top. You're not covering the bottom. Oh, I'm sorry. I heard Kylie. Drew said it first. Drew, you get credit. Anyways, you're not covering the top. You're not covering the bottom. You're covering the lateral surface area. What if you wanted to paint a room? Would you want to know the total surface area of the room or the lateral surface area of the room? Do you paint the ceilings and the floors? Sometimes you paint the ceiling, but usually a different color. And very rarely do you paint the floors, right? So lateral surface area would be when you're painting a room. Okay. That's my spiel. All right, let's find our formulas. Figure out what our formulas are. Formula number 1. Put all your formulas in one spot. Here's your first formula. LA equals PH. LA equals PH. P stands for perimeter. H stands for height. Height of the whole prism, by the way. PH. PH. Capital P means perimeter of the base. So capital P means not the perimeter of the whole 3D solid, but it means perimeter of the base. Okay. Sean, what is the perimeter of that base?
Oh, never mind. 4.
What?
24.
24. What? 24 what?
Centimeters.
Centimeters. Brian, what's the height of that prism? 12. And all you have to do to find the lateral surface area is perimeter times height. Rachel. Go to your calculator. 24 times 12. Okay. And our units would be centimeters. We're still squared. It's not volume yet. We're still squared because it's surface area. Okay. Next formula. Ready?
Yes.
Surface area. This means total surface area. pH plus 2b. pH plus 2b. They are, yeah. I'll hand those out tomorrow. I wanted you to use them in your notes today. So, do y'all recognize part of that formula?
2B.
I was looking for the other part. pH, didn't we just use that on the last slide? What is pH? Okay, but what was it on the last slide? So the total surface area, if you've already found the lateral surface area, you're halfway done. The surface area is the lateral plus how many bases does a prism have? 2. So the total surface area is the lateral plus 2b. What do you think capital B stands for? I need more information. Area of the base, and that's very important. Capital B is not the base, because the base doesn't have a number. It has lots of numbers. It is the area of the base, and that's very important. Capital B is the area of the base. It's a loaded variable. Okay. Let's find it. Okay, we already did the work. We already found the LA. What was it? 288. I want everyone to find the area of the base and then find the total surface area. Go. Just capital B, just the area of the base. Kylie, go write B, and Rodolfo, go write SA. You did know that.
Thank you.
That's why we had the 2D unit before the 3D unit. What does that mean?
It's a 24.
It's a 24?
I'm just saying that's, yeah, you're right. I was just saying that's why we had to learn how to find the area of a triangle before we could find the area of a triangular prism.
Thank you.
Rodolfo, are we ready for you?
It's not 24.
The area of the base is 24 centimeters.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't write 21 this time. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Is it 336?
Yeah.
Thank you, Rodolfo. Very good. Centimeters. Centimeters squared. Centimeters squared. Oh, squared. Sorry, they're all squared. They're all 2D values. That's an area, that's an area, that's an area. Who has a question? This plus double this. So 288 plus 48 is what you were going for. Base times height divided by 2. Capital B is a triangle. And then you have to go back to last unit. How do you find the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2. Okay. Now let's do volume. This is my favorite formula because it's the easiest of all the formulas. This is formula number 3. The volume of a prism is base times height. But be careful, it's the area of the base times the height. Area of the base times the height. Okay, you're talking about the volume of a rectangular prism. This works on all prisms. Base times height. Got it?
Yeah.
All right. We already found capital B. We already did that work. What was it? Kylie wrote it down. 24. And we're shaking. We already found the height. Brian told us it was 12. Man, we've already done all the work here. Base times height. 24 times 12. Wait. A pinder. Base times height, 24 times 12. Aiden.
28.
Oh, again? We already had that number. All right. So that's a coincidence that it's the same as the LA, not a rule, just a coincidence. 288 centimeters cubed, or cubic centimeters. All right, there's a summary. Did you already get your formulas?
Yeah.
Oh, you already got them. There's a summary, all 3 together. What does capital P stand for? Perimeter of the base. Okay.
Just for prisms, right?
This is all, today is all about prisms. Okay. I'm going to give you some time to work this one. I'm going to pause the recording. We're ready when y'all are ready. All that work I did.
Why did I say I'm highly?
Yeah, that's how I find the area of the base.
Because y'all have to say
We don't even know.
I don't like it.
Sorry, I gave you such a good I didn't give it to you, the note first did. I didn't solve it.
yeah, but like you have it all over your
For the black.
Hey, can you give me a marker?
No, sorry. You love me.
I do.
Wait, is LA right?
Oh, that one's pretty good.
So can you try again? E times H. Should be bigger.
Thanks, Boo. Oh, dang. This is different. I gotta go back. Bang, bang.
Thanks, ma'am.
Don't be mean. I was really mad.
Basic
Annie
height.
did too.
As soon as he puts the base down, you'll be able to multiply it by 30.
Oh, so
You multiply. But don't type root 3 exactly.
so good.
Not for volume.
I put on
You need to write your
I'm not
phone
ready for a relationship, but I can give my girlfriend other school 2 weeks later. I bet you his friends are not telling us, but you know, I don't care.
Then you just learn. I mean, I've
No.
heard of it first.
No.
Go back. What is it?
Go back. You have to go back.
That's a big number, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Not
job.
70.
You already gave me false
Okay. All right, capital B. Let's talk about capital B.
I like your shirt, but I can't take it.
All right, what was the apothem? 4 root 3. So we do apothem times, we already know the perimeter, we already found it. 48 divided by 2, and you get 96. Root 3. And then is the volume okay? 2,880 root 3. Nice. Questions? This is a test question right here. It's one of your test questions. What?
Surface area.
Surface area is, ready? It's LA plus 2B. The LA is already done. And then you double your base. What's 96 doubled? 192. LA plus 2B. We okay? That was a lot of work. Good job. So now let's do something fun since that was so much work. So same thing, you drag and drop it and make sure your finger lands inside the box.
Are we going to do more examples?
Kate, Hannah, Drew, Bailey, Alyssa,
Wait, I don't know.
all go up there.
What is this
Grab
song
whichever one
supposed
you
to
want.
Hannah is my favorite friend in the whole entire world.
What is this?
No!
Uh-huh.
Hannah, you look so cute.
No! Use your knuckle.
No,
Okay, get it.
I follow
A
this time.
shoebox is a rectangular prism. Very good.
You be the sun.
I got the sphere.
A can of spinach is a cylinder. Very good. The sun is a, oh, it's supposed to be a sphere.
She wasn't.
I don't know why it said X. I'll have to see if I spelled it wrong. A party hat is a cone.
Sure is.
Hexagonal prism is a cell of a honeycomb. Very nice. What did I wonder what I called the sun. What did I type? I typed, oh.
You put cylinder?
Well, I guess I copied and pasted the one. Yeah, awesome. Sphere is correct for that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Volunteers? Drag and drop. Just go ahead. That's what I was gonna. I know that was.
Go rename yourself.
What is that one?
A bar of gold is a trapezoidal prism. Did y'all know that? A bar of gold. Trapezoidal prism.
Oh, well I thought it was.
A bar of gold is a
Nope,
trapezoidal.
it's not a pyramid.
Tombs of Egyptian.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Then
know.
what? Oh, it's a triangular prism.
Just keep on going. Put the pyramid on the tombs of.
You do it.
No, okay.
You know they saw us fighting on there.
Yeah,
That's
a recording too?
Why do you laugh? Hey, isn't that too
What?
Is there any left? A grain silo. Do y'all know what that is?
Is that where they put the rice?
Okay, thank you. I put a picture of it. You want me to enlarge it?
Oh, that is where you have the rice.
Does that help?
Oh, it's pretty cool. I still know what it is.
This part,
And
these
sugar
parts.
Oh.
I think so. I hope so. I hope I did it right. Yay!
Good job.
Tombs of Egyptian rulers. Where did they bury them? In the pyramids.
We also have another one.
A bowl with a lid.
A hemisphere.
You're wrong.
Very good.